Knocking over my notebook with all my notes. All right, let's go ahead and end the pre-stream. Welcome one and all to Rogue Live. We are back with more Riven. And we are going to take a look at what I just captured because I want to make a note of the symbol for the prison island. Last time we made it here by traveling through the star fissure, or the expanse, or what have you. Wonder what else I'm gonna drop today. Hopefully no frames. Well, yeah, so we made it to the prison island by traveling through the star fissure, because no other form of, I mean, you can see the maglev is destroyed. No other form of transport seems to exist to get us here. I wonder if this is the island where we saw that video of Catherine, perhaps. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Perhaps we'll get the key to that in a little bit. Oh, yes, we also need to make sure we stop this at the appropriate period. So that it will open back up for us, so we can get out of here. Good. There's got to be more to this than this. We worked so hard to get here. Yeah, hopefully no thunderstorms either. These little nuts spin? No. Doesn't appear anything else that can be done. I'm not seeing anything environmentally that would give us a clue. But apparently I can walk down here. Oh, and that automatically seals back up after a time. That's interesting. Should have checked around that lock with the lens. That's fine. We'll explore around here first. I like the music for this island. It's very haunting. Well, that's not creepy. Okay, so we have another I code. This one looks to be... I think that's 1. Based on my notes from prior sessions. None of you have anything interesting to say? No? Well, there's those knives that we saw were used by the Resistant. Well, what does that do? Nothing? Looks like a grand total of nothing right now. Okay. Climb up here and see what there is to see. Just the lens reflected in the water. Okay. Oh, there's another ladder over here that's much taller. Looks like it goes up the rest of the way. Water is really unnatural. I hate that the camera is tilted right now and that the horizon looks like it's canted off to the right. It makes me feel very, very disoriented. Oh, that bothers me. That bothers me a whole bunch.
Yafeadik.
Catherine?
You made it. But how did you get past Gen?
Good question.
I know what he's doing. He's watching you.
Probably.
He's waiting for you to make a mistake.
More than likely.
You can't let Gen get back to Dunny.
I'll try.
Find the Moiety. They have the book.
Okay.
Be careful.
That's it? That's it. I came all this way for you to tell me to be careful. Are you kidding me? Something tells me that ladder will play a role later. Nothing else with this statue? No. What did this do? No one can say. Okay, find the moiety. They have the book. Tell us something we didn't already know, Catherine. Thanks. Way to not be useful. Let's take a look around here. Nope. Lens reveals nothing. Alright. Then presumably we will get the key to that later. I imagine at some point we are going to rescue Catherine. Rogue. You're doing this out of order. You gotta stop the spinning dome first. Let's see, it's that, I think. Yes, there we go. Transferred back to the Expanse. I believe we have already sent the marble for this island. Yes, because this is inoperable. And only 2 of the 3 bridges are extended. Now that for Jungle Island, and then I think the main island. Can we even get to the main island from here? Like, can we access the dome? It would appear the answer is yes. Well, at least we can get to the main island. See if we can get to the primary dome. I don't think this takes me to the main dome. It does not. Alright, that takes me there. And then this might let me get to the the gold dome. I think if I rotate this twice more. My angle might be off. No, I was correct. Alright, that'll also let me go around the perimeter here and play Spot the Island, so that I can match the symbols with the islands again. So that is Survey Island. And then that over here is Boiler Island. And those are the only two that we don't have energy marbles in place for. I feel like we're being used by Gen to accomplish some kind of nefarious goal, like escaping to Dani. Somehow need to get power energy marbles from Survey and Boiler to the main dome. Have to try and free Catherine. Her solution is to find the black moiety, but how do we go about doing that, Catherine? No, I did not want to turn around. Just get up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for getting up. We found the secret image reflected in the water. I mean, is there something about how these moths settle? Do they form an image? Out of curiosity. I feel like they do. And I just can't get the right viewing angle. Beats me. Now, can I remember how to get back to Survey Island from here? That's the question. Maybe? Maybe is the answer? They're watching us. Never noticed the camera moving around before. But yeah, there's definitely a camera right there. They are definitely watching us from inside their little island of whatever that is over there. Hmm. I wonder if over at Survey Island I need to somehow send the... like, use the light to send those the weird shark whale things This is not the correct route. Anyway, send those weird shark whale things over to Jungle Island. Maybe that will open something up for us. I think this might be the way. If I go this way, it'll take me down to, yes, down to here. And then I'll be able to actually access that other area. Nope, did not mean to do that. That's what I wanted. Looks like it should go forward further, but it doesn't seem to. That would let me get to the dome. Right, we've already done that. Oh, I wonder if I go up there, I can see the butterfly formation. Can I see anything up here? No. No, I cannot. Okay, it was worth a try. Don't know if that's supposed to be open or shut. I can't walk around out there. Could have swore there was a way over here, a maglev that got me to Survey Island from here. Oh no, that was from Boiler Island. That was the problem. I got myself turned around. Okay. I'll hit Boiler first. Because then I can swing in through Gen's lab and get to Survey Island. And then I can, I don't know, summon the... whatever these things are? Works? Over here, and maybe that'll open up that plate in the lagoon? Also need to find the fissure chamber for the boiler island. We know where it is on the survey island, but it's inoperable. Can't get to the dome, and the wheel, the thing that controls it, has been damaged. At least I remember how we can quickly get to Gen's laboratory. I don't remember what's down there. The fissure room. So where is the scope that controls it? Aha! How do I get to that? That is an excellent question. Right. That bridge is out. Because that is not the way you thought it was, Rogue. How do I get to that? Maybe I don't get to that one directly. Although I'm not sure how to remotely extend the bridge. That's the part I'm unsure about. Go check out the one on Survey Island again. Maybe I missed something there. And then we can go with the plan of summoning the shark thing. See if I can get it over to Jungle Island, if that is what that underground area does what I think it does. I wonder. And this might end up being a waste of time, but... Is there anything over here that I have not seen? I mean, it seems I can access this area, but apparently invisible walls prevent me. So the answer would be no. Fine. Just making sure. Go up first. Just double check that I am correct, that there is nothing I can do with this dome. I'm not sure that's true. I think the timing on this one is all messed up. Because you can get over here. Come on, I'm hitting it right on the right time. This must be broken. I mean, yes, it's off kilter, but it's not off kilter by that much. And the fissure has not been, you know, put in the wrong place. Let's go down first. Mess with those lights. After I take a quick break to stretch my legs. Back shortly. Okay. And I'm back. Alright, let's go ahead and just punch in the code to go to the magical downstairs. Alright, let's see here. Is this the one that... Yeah, this is the one that does the lights. Okay. So then Jungle Island is this one. That is factually incorrect. Because this is Survey Island, yet this is the symbol for Jungle Island. And yet this turned on this red light. Oh, I wonder if that tells them what post there's a sacrifice at. Which one of these does not belong? This one? That's the one that doesn't match any known island. Maybe that's something. I genuinely cannot be sure. Okay, now that's just gonna bring it back. Thank you for that, Wark. How are we supposed to make contact with her precious black moiety? If we cannot access the other... And then what does that say? Okay. Take the maglev back to Jungle Island? Maybe I missed something over there at the maglev station or something. It'll help remind me where the maglev station is. That's for sure. This also looks like I need to turn the carriage around and explore over this way. There might be some benefit to doing so. Because it doesn't look like you can get to this side of... Yeah. I don't remember if I came back here the last time we were through this area. That answer, Rogue, would be no. Now how do I use this contraption? That handle will not move. Maybe I need to flood this room somehow? It's gonna be my guess. why this does not want to work. Do you need to close the hatch first, maybe, Rogue? How about that? Did you think about that? Did you consider closing the hatch? No, no, no. Not what I wanted to do. Go back in the pod. Okay. I get it. It's a ladder. There's clearly something wrong. Something is failing to engage in my cranium. Alright, let's flip this around so that I can see how I've messed this up. That's how I get back down here. Okay. So this takes us to the fish mouth. And I don't need to go out here. But I do want to go up a level. Because I wonder if I need to open up that. No, not that. I need to go around the dome. Okay, so if I go around here, go up here. I thought I left it open. Did I not? I did not. Okay. Well, I've opened that up now. What does that do? I don't know. But the only thing I have left is trying to get into that thing so that I can move the... so that I can get to the center island in the lagoon area. It's the only thing I can think of. Hmm. Yeah, this has done exactly nothing. I can get into said pod. I still cannot operate. I hate everything about this machine. Aha. Yeah. Yeah, I'm over here now. What you can do about it? Hmm. That a microphone? Looks like a microphone. That looks like some kind of offering thing. I hear a baby. So there are people alive in this village. There. No more cutting me off. Sacrificial pit? Maybe just a steam outlet. Go ahead and release the bridge here. Now we can get over here from this side. Okay. It looks like they, crush those fruits to make the invisible ink. But this is the person I think I need to talk to. How do I get a hold of them? Right? How do I get them to answer their door? Because they're doing what I do when somebody knocks on my door unannounced. They're just hiding. Oh, the whole inside of the... There's an image there. I wonder if I need to be looking at it from, like, a different angle. Maybe from underneath. Now I'm all turned around. How do I get back down? No, seriously, where's the ladder down? Right there in front of you. Rogue. Right there in front of you. One of these houses, maybe, will be marked with the invisible paint. And that will maybe be the person I need to knock on their door. Hear that baby. It looks like that one door is the only one I can knock on, though. Maybe I just have to be annoying. Knock on their door repeatedly. What do you think, chat room? Because, yeah, of all the houses I can approach, not all of them have door knockers, and even if they do have door knockers, I can't seem to select any of them except for the one. And the game lacks enough precision control for me to knock with some kind of rhythm. So I guess maybe I just have to annoy them. Hello? Apparently you get an achievement for that. The sign of 5 for intruding on a villager's privacy. Okay. So aside from getting an achievement, that does exactly nothing. Understood. If you can claim, you know, getting an achievement is doing something. I'm sorry, what? What did I just come across? Ah. Water the tree. What does this do? It watered the tree. Did it make more blossoms or something? Maybe? Yes, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow the house in. I think this way is the fastest way back to the tree. Maybe there's something different over there now that I've dumped gallons and gallons of water at the tree roots. Just seems like I watered the tree. Not seeing where I can do anything with that. So the tree is fully in bloom. Excellent. Great. What did that do? Nothing. Can I take a piece of meat now? No. Well, I mean, I know why she looked at me all angry. Probably woke up the baby. Don't wake sleeping babies. It's a real jerk thing to do. Alright, let's try one of the other stations. Maybe there's something else for us to do with the little submarine pod. We know one of them will take us to the schoolroom. That's probably the schoolroom, so let's go to this other one. See what we can see over here. What is this, I wonder? I guess I needed to open this after all. I see. Okay. Well, that tells me something. We'll move that back down to the bottom level. We'll go and we'll close that so that I can actually walk on that and ride that as an elevator. I think if we go back to that station, we should be able to get there. Because I need to get to the warp thingy so that I can climb in its mouth and take the elevator up to the top again. Nope. This way. Down we go. Into the thing that eats people, I presume. Okay. So now, if we close that gate thing, I should be able to I'm not going to think about what that elevator thing is meant to do. Because Jigen is not striking me as a very kind person. In fact, he strikes me as kind of crazy. But now I should be able to walk on that to get to that, so that I can ride that up to the top to get over here. Whatever good that's going to do me. Only one way to find, only one, way to find out. Do 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 do. No do 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 do. It's easier now that we've gotten all the shortcuts in the village. Wrong way. Nobody ever told me it's the wrong way. No, wait, that is the right way. Here I am making sublime references and I shouldn't be. That's the wrong way. This is the way to the lagoon. Yes, I know you're watching me. See if there's anything we can see with the lens. Out of curiosity. Answer: no. Not at all. Thought I would be able to ride that up as an elevator. Maybe that's so I can help somebody get down. Or move an object. Let's try one more time to step on it. Yeah, I can walk up onto this thing. There we go. It's just a matter of timing. Maybe it doesn't let you if you hit the top button because it would take you all the way up. To where you would be squished. Because it would take you all the way up here. This does not look like a nice thing. Hey, buddy. Can I let you out of there? I can't. He's gone. You all saw that, right? Well then. Ho 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 ho. Path in the darkness. Okay, what did that do? I hear something. I mean, did we just come down here to strike a charge marble? Is that it? I guess there's other ones. So you can see where you're walking. See. There was a doorway I passed. Mmm. Something tells me you have to do the ones for the two symbols that you can only see if you are a member. Well, that's one of them. Let us refer to our notebook. What's the other one? The weird fish-looking thing. There. Have I sufficiently solved your problem? Those are the only two symbols we've encountered. I guess maybe I missed more symbols. Suppose we'll have to go look around again. Or I just try random ones. I mean, I feel like it's significant that you can come down here, but there's nothing to see. Alright, those are the two animal symbols. The weird bird thing and the weird fish thing. Is there some kind of trigger I'm missing? Alright, I'm just gonna start yanking them all. Okay. So maybe it's a combination of 4? So I've got to figure out what the other 2 images are somehow. There's got to be viewports for them. There's got to be ways to view them somewhere. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's the tree and the... Do they have a representation of the tree in there? No. Okay. Well, that's no fun. What am I hung up on? There we go. Thank you. Okay, so there was something in that. But I'm not sure how that mechanism works. We watered the tree. Maybe I missed a viewing opportunity on Prison Island. I need to go back there. Might also be something to do with this over here. Can't activate that though. Can't get back there to turn it on. And was that one of the symbols? I didn't think it was. It seems like that's saying that leads into this structure, where I'd then be able to look up and see whatever image is coming out of the mouth of that. I wonder. If I make that go back, will this last station stay on? So that I can figure out how to get into there? Because this will take me back to the maglev track. And I can flip that carriage around to get back into the Wark statue thing. Maybe I missed viewing a symbol from Prison Island. The one that's on the cliffs, perhaps? I'll have to check that out. In the meantime, I need a stretch break. I will be back in a few minutes. Okay. I have returned. Alright. Let's head back up to the village area. I don't know if that thing will operate with the sub there, or without the sub there. If it doesn't, I might have to move the sub back. That's the wrong way. Village is over here. It seemed like I couldn't get down the ladder with the sub there, though. That was the frustrating thing. No, no, see, it is on. It is on. Okay. So maybe there's something to this down here. Okay, that should keep that locks that back in the on position. So now what? That'll stay on. Now, is there something I do with the work head thing? Maybe there's a lever up there that I missed. I mean, that looks like a lever, doesn't it? I hate it when I click on things and they don't do things, and so I think they don't do what they actually do because I just didn't click on the government-approved pixel. That's very frustrating. Alright, there's the ladder down. Come on, take the ladder. Very good. Oh god, there's probably an order to these things, these stones too. I wonder... Okay, that did open this up, as I suspected. Okay. So this thing has a... Aha! Aha. And this is number 1. No. 3? 3. This is position 3. Okay. So, notebook. This one is 3. And then I'll have to go back and see what these statues were because I don't remember. But I do know that it looks like, based on my notes, there's at least 6 symbols. So every time I see one of those statues, I should find a symbol. Clever. Okay. So let's very quickly go and get those numbers. That way I can figure out which ones are which. The one that's visible from Prison Island is number 1. So I'll have to go back to Prison Island, but I may as well do that last. Alright, so there's a statue right here. Aha. Some kind of... I knew there was something to this. And then this is... number... what? 5. Okay. Let's go figure out what those two are. And then maybe there is something with the tree. Maybe you have to stand by the statue. That would make sense. Because there's a statue by the tree. Oh, I gotta climb all the way back up and make it bloom again? Woof. Well, at least I have access to, like, all the shortcuts. Just let that go until we see it all glow, start glowing really, really brightly. Alright, that looks like it's sufficient. Let's get back down there. Didn't realize this was time sensitive, too. Is this the right? No. Need to go down this way. There we go. Do 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 do. All right, now let's go see what the tree looks like. All right. That is number 2. Which means there's probably... Yeah, well, we already determined there was something on Prison Island. I bet Prison Island lets you see the symbol that's painted on the side of the bleeding cliff. That I missed. Okay, let's see here. This one we already have a picture of. I just gotta figure out which one it is. It's this. And that is 6. So that's 3, 5, 2, 6. Gotta get to that one. And the Prison Island one is number 1. Gotta remember how to get to that other one. Although process of elimination kind of suggests that this is number 4. This is not the correct path. I feel like I'm lost. I'm going in circles. Literally. It's probably 4. I'm not gonna bother trying to find it. This is probably 4. Because that... Right, that's the one where the eyepiece was ripped off anyway. That's the one where the eyepiece was in Gen's laboratory. And that is 4. So I just need to go to Prison Island now. So I can figure out what symbol number 1 is. We know how to get there. Oh, the elevator's here. We know how to get to Prison Island. Although I'm not sure how I'm going to see the cliffs from that spot. Okay, let's see here. Need to get the... Excuse me. Need to get the platform over here. The sound of 1,000 automatones screaming into the void. Okay. Now we need to get to Prison Island. That's Main Island. That's Prison. In theory, we should be able to get the domes open for Survey Island and for Boiler Island, but I, for the life of me, can't figure that out right now. Okie dokie. Let's go get us a symbol. Can't see nothing from here. Does it need cleaned? Like, is this supposed to be... Because I can't see a thing. There's an eyepiece. I missed the eyepiece. Okay. So that is number 1. I think we have all... I mean, I hope it's just 6 symbols. Back to Jungle Island. You didn't click on the government-approved pixel. We're not going to give you any hints that that eyepiece is there. What do you mean that's not intuitive? Oh, right. I gotta stop the bloody dome. Still haven't figured out that puzzle. Let's see, what's prison? The symbol that just passed. wish I could figure out how to make it work for Survey Island. Or find the access to Boiler Island. Well, I need to do both, eventually. I presume. Back into the abyss. All right. Okay, random butterfly, how did you get in here? Right. Can't really do much until I get to an intersection. There's my intersection. There we are. Do 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 do. Don't listen to the eternal screaming of the abyss, viewers. Don't mind the screaming of the starfisher. It's only screaming a little bit at you. I promise. Alright. Let's go meet these cats from the Black Moiety. Now that I'm armed. With symbols and an order. Dun 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 dun. It's fastest to go this way because I could just go down to the sub dock. Because I need the sub. I'm not used to missed games with other people in it. Or at least other people that aren't trapped in linking books. Okay. Down we go! did have a moment of panic just now. Like, what if it is true? What if you have to go all the way back to the first station and turn the thing off by hand again? Up we go. Okay, so because I already messed up the order, if they're not reset by the time we get in there, I'm just gonna hit random ones to reset them. Where's my brick? There's my secret button. Although it looks like... Survey says... no. Okay. So let's just tug on some random symbols. And yes, there are 6. Okay, so that's the first one. And then... tree... bug thing here. Pelican, other... no. This thing. Alright, let's not go too fast here, Rogue. Tree. Tree, 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 tree. Tree. That's not a tree, that's a bug. Whatever. Okay, notebook. Number 3. Is that bug. I wish there was a more streamlined interface to get to your notebook and out of your notebook. Like the N key. That would be, you know, brilliant. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so 4, and then 5, whatever that is. So 4. Alright, let's find something that looks like that. Is it this frog-looking thing? Only one way to find out, I guess. It's the only thing that relatively looks correct. And then number 6. It's that guy. Mr. Dagon. Or Wark. Where is it? There. I think we did it right this time. Okay. So the water flowed over there. Is this a button? Of sorts. I'm sorry, what? That's not what I expected.
Palo.
Yeah. No, don't do the, don't. Uh-oh. Night, night. This is bad. You. What did you shoot me with? You stole my book. You're the one who stole my book. Give me my book. I need to give that to Gen so that he gets stuck. And he can stop being a very bad person. Great. An empty bowl. What sounds like explosions. I mean, at least they didn't take our stuff. At least we can sleep, I guess?
Katarina e now da saya ya palo. Yapa ay manay yalepo.
Gorsh Blagadu.
Milti sai. Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisai. Why te fulupe?
You're gonna shoot me with something again.
Wisi fapolo ya sepe yai.
Lens? No? I'm stuck. Okay, so now what? I write quickly from my prison. Along with this journal, I've instructed Nella to return the book that the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will wish to use it, though he will undoubtedly be suspicious. Once he is out of the way, you'll still need the combination to release me. I'm told he keeps it somewhere in his outpost on 233. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but I don't attempt it before I'm released. Catherine. Okay, so this is Catherine's journal. It's been 1 week since I linked to Riven, and I'm still reeling from the changes I've witnessed. Even before my eyes could adjust, the smell of my homeland embraced me. The sweet salt air was instantly familiar, but the scene that soon resolved was not. As I stood there struggling to make sense of what I was seeing, a violent clang surrounded and bars appeared before me. It was then that I must have been darted, for my memory after is cloudy. A Rivenese man, shabbily dressed in militaristic attire, was shouting something at me. He seemed to be attempting to speak Dini, but his grasp of the language was so poor that I could not make out his words. And then the world went dark. Many voices passed until at last I awoke to a familiar face, Etty. After all this time, she's still as warm and kind as ever, and yet the years have clearly wounded her. They've wounded everyone whose world became a prison when Gen was trapped here. Everything is tinged with pain and loss, even Etty's bright smile, though she does her best to hide it. A desperate urgency squelched by unuttered fears seethes beneath her cordial veneer. When Atris and I left again here, all those years ago, I was haunted by visions of what had become of my people, and how they might have come to suffer under his rule, but the injustices I imagined were nothing compared to the atrocities that have actually come to pass. The following is a chronicle of what I have learned, a record of all that has happened, should I no longer be here to tell it. The moiety. It seems the confrontation that led to Gen's entrapment on Riven was witnessed by some of the Rivenese. but their interpretation of the event was skewed, no doubt due to Gen's overinflated view of himself. I mean, we have seen that he views himself as a god. Atreus and I had hoped that stripping him of his ability to link to other worlds might lead people to conclude that his claims of godhood were false. But it appears that the opposite has come to pass. If Gen was a god, and we had vanquished him, then we must be greater gods. It was thus assumed that my absence was only temporary, and that I would surely return one day to set the world right again. Thus, the moiety, the name adopted after Gen's disparaging use of the term, were born. Sworn enemies of Gen and devotees of me. I had no inkling of this misconception about myself until 2 days ago, though in hindsight it makes perfect sense given the way I've been treated. For their part, they naturally assumed an omniscient deity might well be aware of their own divine status, so there was no need to inform me. I only finally pieced it together during a recent underground gathering, where they reenacted their version of the story of my life, a riveting tale that culminated with a final confrontation between Atreus, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated to such grandiose proportions that I found it hard at times to suppress my laughter, and yet this myth has also given them the courage to stand against Gen, and the hope that they might someday be delivered from this relentless inhumanities of his authoritarian rule. Even so, the fact that I am the one who has been cast as their savior, an omnipotent being who would one day return to Riven, overthrow Gen, and lead them to a new paradise, is deeply unsettling. I would do anything to free my people from this hellish existence, but I am not who they think I am. How, though, can I dissuade them from this notion without also crushing their hopes? I see that we are having issues with our pen. As Gen's power grew, so did the moiety. And in order to evade his persecution, for he would wipe them all out in an instant if he could, they had to become more and more adept at concealing themselves. They make use of a network of caves that so far he has failed to discover, but I fear it is only a matter of time before they're found out. 3 Bolu must be lit. I'm guessing that's the... And then the secret passage to the rebel linking room. That seems important. Oh no, I did not mean to click out of that. That seems important. Let's just... for quick reference. Further jeopardizing their existence is the fact that the moiety absolutely refused to sever... You know, I just noticed there's a little bit of ghosting from the previous page. I really like that touch graphically. The moiety absolutely refused to sever ties with those who have sided with Gen. The two factions thus live together in surprising harmony, their overarching sense of cultural unity appearing to outweigh the schism, at least for now. I heard today that Father and an aunt were inducted into Gen's labor force. I so long to see them, but a dimness surrounded Etty's face so abruptly when I asked them that it left me hesitant to press the matter further. I must know the truth eventually, but I fear the news will not be good. From the moment of their inception, the moiety have sought to disrupt Gen's plans at every turn, sabotaging his constructions, stealing from his precious stockpiles, and keeping an ever-watchful eye on his every move. They shroud themselves with dark coverings and delight in the fact that their enemies are often frightened by their wraith-like appearance and their almost preternatural ability to wreak havoc without detection or consequence. So they're ninjas. It was in the course of these forays that I was fortuitously rescued when I first linked to Riven. Kind of like we were. I shudder to think what might have become of me had that scout not been there to intervene. Same. Gen will certainly be hunting me for now, no doubt furious at his guard's failure to detain me. He must be even angrier, though, at the loss of the linking book he surely assumes I brought with me. That I was deceived into linking into Riven without a way back is a bitter yet fortunate fact, for it may well have meant the death of us all had a path back to Dani fallen into his destructive hands. When he finally discovers that I came here empty-handed, he'll be angrier still. That is some consolation, at least. And then she doodles. I have glimpsed the final breath of a dying age. A tiny blade cuts the void, a white hole divided again and again, dipped in black, the nib drips red, the art of genocide. Ooh. Catherine's a poet. Today I ventured above ground to see for myself what has become of the island. I hoped it... You know, she keeps saying the island. There's 5 of them. Which island? I hoped it wouldn't be as bad as the moiety had reported. It was worse. Having lived with it for so long, the Rivenese have become inured to the steady decay around them. But I was devastated. As we wound our way through the underbrush, I found myself once again breathing in my youth, the ocean air transporting me back in a matter of seconds. But as my eyes again took hold of the warmth of those memories vanished, and I was left with nothing but numbness. We had reached a bluff that had not been there the last time I visited my home. Riven, which was once one island, has split into 5 distinct pieces that have since drifted apart at an astonishing rate. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. Only those who have sworn their loyalty to him are ever allowed to access them. From my vantage point at the edge of the trees, I could see 3 of them now blighted with Gen's monomaniacal constructions. These islands are closely guarded and pose great personal risk to the moiety, though that hasn't kept them from doing whatever they can to thwart Gen's endeavors there. So, Survey Island... Is that Jungle Island? That's the main island, and that's Boiler Island for sure. The 4th island I could not see, and as it has crept away to some distance and now lies concealed by the fog. The moiety said that Gen originally governed from this small island, living and working in a protected space he built for himself atop the stump that remains where the great tree used to stand. The only surviving forest is located here on the largest island, where the village also remains. This island was ostensibly intended to be the providence of the people, but it too has been irrevocably marred by Gen's oppressive intentions. Words fall, brittle brown leaves masquerading as green, should never have held lives both bloomed and as yet unseeded. I feel nothing today. I am an outcast among outcasts, the yet diaspora of a dying world. Despite my repeated protestations, the moiety continue to treat me differently, their desperate need precluding any dissuasion from the belief that I am some sort of messiah come to save them. They misconstrue every move as a validation of their faith, whispering of how I walked the island, bold and unafraid, mistaking my outrage at the island's devastation for bravery. But I am afraid, for I know something that the moiety do not, the underlying reason for the island's accelerated decay. Gen wrote this world, and so it will fail, as all of Gen's ages ultimately fail. I must make the moiety understand this, but I cannot talk to Eti. There were brief moments soon after my arrival when my divine status was forgotten and I was simply Katran again, but they are almost non-existent now. There is one person, however, who seems immune to these fallacious notions. Nela. I'm guessing that's the girl who brought us everything. I mean, Catherine said as much. Her gaze has never faltered when I dared hint at the uncomfortable truth. I feel I could trust her to bear the full brunt of it. Gen is making books. How did I not know this until now? Atris and I knew he would likely attempt it, as he has adopted the paranoid practice of writing all of the necessary materials into his ages. He's been exploiting the natural resources and the people of Riven as fodder for his mad pursuit to further his colonialist ideals. Thankfully, it sounds as if he has not yet succeeded. As painful as it's been, the fact that I've returned to Riven at this crucial juncture is fortuitous. The age is crumbling, my people are suffering, and if Gen succeeds in securing his freedom, other worlds will suffer the same. The moiety are looking to me. I may only be mortal, but I have to do something. And this is, it looks like a diagram of the stuff on the main island that we activated partially. It's been a long time since my last entry. There is much to tell. It was hard to recognize, but I found the Starfisher. It is located on what Gen refers to as his Temple Island. That's what I keep calling the main island, I think. Although the moiety prefer to use the Rivenese word Alapo, which means water pool. They've thus taken to referring to the void itself as Altwan, Pool of Stars. It is the very fissure that allowed Atris and me to escape this age without leaving a linking book behind us, though it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. Several derelict devices from that time remain mounted to its surface, including a hatch with a windowed viewport, a large telescope, and the mechanical lift that was used to install it. The combination to which was acquired by the moiety long ago, and that's the combination for the device on the... Aha. Okay, so then I'll have to translate this into Gen's numerical system. So let's see here. That looks like 3... I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Just write this down for myself. But Rogue, you could just take a screenshot, I know. But part of the charm of these games, in my opinion, is keeping a little notebook where you keep your own notes. I'll have to figure out what translate that combination later. I'll take a screenshot anyway. In the early days, the moiety briefly considered reopening the fissure. Thankfully, they decided against it. Had they attempted it back then, the results might well have been catastrophic. They were told to if we were they to do so today, it would certainly mean the end of Riven. So, maybe a good thing that I didn't open it. I am told that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the mist book fall from Atris's hands into that very same space. Yeah, then we picked it up. We ended up on mist, and that's how we started all this nonsense. To this end, he sacrificed several poor souls, alleged transgressors of the law, by throwing them into the hatch so he could observe their fate. Wow. It is said that they did not die, but what becomes of them remains a mystery, and that original fissure is no longer alone. New ruptures have appeared in recent years at various locations around the islands. In some instances, the moiety were able to glimpse the breaches before Gen and his minions moved in to contain them. Their descriptions support my suspicion that the forces that are tearing Riven apart are more than merely geological. More troubling, however, is that Gen is not simply containing these rifts, but is somehow using them to travel between the islands, and that he has also reportedly devised a way to harvest the energies from the expanse for some as yet unknown purpose. We know the purpose, it's to activate linking books. How like him, to wantonly exploit for his own selfish gain that which he does not understand. The starfield beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. That is how Atris described his brief time within the expanse before he linked out, leaving his mist book adrift within it. He was never able to conclude upon its nature, but I cannot help but feel that there must be some greater pneuma behind it. Pneuma? Mayaha? I'm sorry. I got distracted. Something I should have mentioned earlier, one of the colossal blades that appeared in the course of our escape from Riven, the great dagger that stands at one end of the fissure, has been adopted by the moiety as the emblem of their struggle. They have their own explanation as to how it came to be, of course, but their choice is more apt than they know, as that dagger, along with the other blades, was a manifestation of my rage at the desecration that Gen had already wrought upon my world. I haven't told the moiety that I wrote it into this age, as I fear that would only fuel their overestimation of me. But I can't deny it pleases me to have inadvertently provided them with such a fitting symbol for their cause. That explains why all the islands look like they've been stabbed with giant weapons. My limited encounters with Gen's followers have been discouraging. Whenever I've attempted to engage them, they've fled from me. I heard an interesting tale from the moiety last night, which may help to explain this. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that he was the one, or it was he who had been responsible for the Great Blades, summoning them as a preemptively primitive reminder of the obeisance he expected. In the village circles, it is told that this act marked the beginning of a period of restitution, and at the end of which, provided they had proven their devotion to him, they would be delivered unto a new and better existence. I will continue my attempts to intervene on their behalf. The cage has finally failed. Gen is free. My sources have confirmed that Gen has managed to create a functional linking book. In fact, he had done so before my arrival, but kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest acolytes were aware of it. In keeping with his callous regard for the worlds he creates, he has simply named this age 233. It is not yet known whether he has written others. I have also just learned that years ago a moiety scout managed to steal a book that was an early failure that Gen had intended to destroy. It was largely complete, but did not work. I wasn't told about it until now because they thought it was useless. Gen struggled for decades, but he could never get a conventional linking book to work. Then one day he began construction on a cumbersome mechanical solution, a complex array of devices designed to harness the energies of the starry expanse and use them to suppress his book's inherent flaws. The design phase was chaotic, and often dangerous. The moiety tell of tremendous explosions as Gen sought to contain and wield forces that he knew little to nothing about. But he is nothing if not determined, and eventually he was able to use this enormous crutch to link to another age. I can't deny his brilliance, but it is an abominable solution, brutish and overwrought. And all but entirely unnecessary. I have studied the partially burned book that the moiety took from him. Although he sought retribution for the affront, he appears to have been otherwise untroubled by the theft, no doubt assuming the book would be useless in the moiety's hands, but I can see what they could not. The book may yet be salvageable. The age the book describes is wholly unsuitable as a home for the moiety, but I think it can be modified. I will dream. That looks like where we are. I've nearly finished writing the moiety's age. The world, as described, is harsher and more desolate than they are used to, but they should be able to sustain themselves there. But we'll need a second book. Gen has been spending most of his time on 233 lately, so the danger is less, but getting into his lab will still be difficult. The coming collapse weights the air, blurring my vision to both day and night. We must act soon. Success, we have secured a second book. Though I worry now that Gen will miss it and deduce our plans before we're ready, the descriptive book I've prepared as a refuge for the rebels is useless unless I can find a way to correct its inherent flaws. Gen's massive machine mainly functions to manipulate the energies within the expanse. It serves its purpose, but its excess seems unwarranted. The Rivenese have long used crystalline substrates as an elegant means to manipulate light, if I could just find the right material. I wonder if that's why there was like a lens over top of the viewing window for the linking book to get here. Last night's dreams have delivered me a perilous plan. I will write this substance into the new moiety age. Just gonna... That is interesting to see. If we could temporarily access Gen's apparatus, we could use our book to link to this new age and search for the crystal. Someone would then have to carry the book back to safety once the link was made. If it fell into Gen's hands, all would be lost. When Gen links to 233, one of his acolytes always remains to shut down the device. We'll have to get to him before he can do so, which means we'll only have one chance before they're alerted to our presence. Everything is ready. I have written the material into the New Age, and I have prepared the second linking book as a return path to Riven. Of course, it too suffers the same deficiencies as all of Gen's books, so it won't work unless it's augmented. Once I'm in the New Age, I'll have to locate the crystal and adapt it to heal the gateway image, which should render the book functional. I can then use the second linking book to return to Riven with more of this material. It's risky, but if all goes well, the moiety and any others we can convince to join them will finally have an escape. I can't help but laugh at the absurdity of this plan. I sound like Atris. Should I fail to return, it will likely mean the end of my life, but my only real fear is for my people. Everyone assures me they have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. That's the fulfillment of the prophecy, after all. But underneath, they are the only way to completely protect it from Gen is to destroy the books once everybody is safely in Tay. But I'm hesitant to bring this up with the moiety until they've had a chance to acclimate themselves to the new world, as it would mean they would be forever exiled from the only home they've ever known. Nor am I eager to sever my own connection and my only path back to my life and family on Mist. But for the greater good, it must be done. Catherine, believe me, you're not missing much. Your sons are... they're very much like their grandfather. Very, very much like their grandfather. For the moment, we're safe, but our activities could arouse Gen's suspicions at any moment. We cannot delay. I will return to Riven tomorrow to resume my attempts to persuade the remaining holdouts to join the others in Tay. For now, though, I must rest. And then we have our fake linking book. For Gen. Okay, I'll go this way. I'm being funneled. Uh-huh. Catherine. Oh, there's stairs. I thought I was supposed to go through the door. Oh, I see. They're taking me to the linking book and sending me back. And away we go! Okay, we're back in control. Do we need to close this? Apparently not. I feel like maybe we should go tell Catherine what's happened. But we have to get her out of her prison. Okay. So we need to get to 233. I wonder if that's the linking book that's at the center of the Golden Dome. But that would mean we would need to get access to the fissure domes in Boiler Island and Survey Island. And I think in order to... Before we can do that, let's go talk to Kathy. Maybe she can give us, like, a pointer. It seems like I can't activate the dome on the Survey Island at all, no matter what I do. And I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to get to the scope device for, for Boiler Island. I'm gonna have a chat with Kathy. You know, I wonder also if on Survey Island that elevator panel has a second function, not unlike what we experienced with the fireplace puzzle on Mist Island. That is also something to consider. Let's just go ahead and tilt that back up. Let's not give Gen any more assistance than he already is getting from us. Huh. Interesting. It's like a view. Okay, that's like a sun window, I guess.
You're back.
Yes.
Time is running out. You have to free me. The combination is hidden somewhere in Gen's outpost in age 233, so you'll have to trap him to get it.
Mm-hmm. And how do we propose we go about doing that? Welp. I do not know, but what I do know is that is a problem that we will have to visit next time. Next stream. So, thank you all for joining me. I will drop a couple links in the chat. For anybody interested, I have my YouTube channel. It's where I publish all the VODs and other content. The most recent, or I should say the previous session of Mist, or Riven that we recorded on the 13th, or was broadcasted on the 13th, will be published there on Sunday. So feel free to join that. And if you want to keep up with other things, I have a Discord that, you can join if you so please. And I try to keep up to date with announcements and other things in there. And trying to grow it. Trying to grow the community. Trying to grow the channels. Thank you all for joining me. Let's see if there's somebody that would make a good transition, whom I can also vouch for. It looks like H.C. Bailey is about to finish Dragon Quest VII. So that might be something of interest for you all. So we will go ahead and raid to H.C. Bailey. And I'll see you all next week. I will be back at my usual day on Wednesday, so